You've been looking at a wood-burning sauna stove because you want something that actually works day after day, doesn't feel like a maintenance nightmare, and justifies the money you spend. The hesitation most people feel isn't about the horsepower or the shiny metal. It's about whether the unit will fit in the space you have, whether you'll actually enjoy lighting it up a few times a week, and whether the heat it gives feels real, without having to babysit it for hours. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last few weeks talking to owners of small home saunas, reading the handful of reviews out there, and digging into what the Harvia Legend wood-burning stove really brings to the table. So let's walk through what you'll experience if you decide to bring one into your home. First off, the Legend is built for smaller sauna rooms, the kind you might have in a backyard cabin, a converted garage, or a dedicated corner of a larger home. That focus on compactness shows up in the way the stove sits on a modest stone bed, yet it still holds a surprisingly generous amount of sauna stones. The larger stone capacity means the heat stays evenly distributed for longer periods, which is a subtle but important detail when you're trying to get that deep, penetrating warmth that makes a sauna feel authentic. In practice, this translates to fewer cold spots and a more consistent steam when you pour water over the stones. If you've ever tried a cheap wood stove that seemed to heat the air but left the bench feeling lukewarm, you'll notice the difference immediately. The cleaner burn claim isn't just marketing fluff. Harvia has been around for decades, and their cast iron design promotes a more complete combustion of the wood, which reduces the amount of creosote that can build up over time. For a typical homeowner who buys a cord of seasoned firewood a season, that means you'll spend less time cleaning out ash and less worry about smoke stains on the walls. In real-world use, the stove's ash drawer empties with a simple slide, and the ash itself is lightweight enough that you can tap it into a garden compost bin without a backache. The longer lifespan comes from that same cast iron body. It resists the warping that cheaper steel units can develop after a few seasons of heating and cooling cycles. That durability is where the value really starts to add up. You're not looking at a replacement in 2 years. Now, let's talk about the day-to-day routine. Lighting a wood-burning sauna is a ritual for many, and the Legend respects that. You start with a few kindling sticks, add a few small logs, and within 10 minutes you have a lively flame that settles into a steady roar. Because the stove is designed for a smaller sauna, you don't need a massive pile of wood to reach the target temperature. A couple of well-seasoned logs will get the chamber up to 80-90 C in about 3,040 minutes, which is a realistic timeline for a weekend night or a weekday unwind. Once you reach temperature, you can add a few more logs to keep the heat stable, but you won't be constantly shoveling wood to maintain it. For people who enjoy the scent of burning wood and the quiet crackle, that's part of the charm. For someone who just wants set it and forget it, a wood stove might feel like more work than an electric heater. Who should buy the Harvia Legend? If you already have a small to medium sauna space, enjoy the atmosphere of a wood fire, and don't mind spending a few minutes each session preparing the stove, this unit is a strong match. It's especially appealing for owners who have a reliable source of dry firewood, perhaps a personal woodlet, a neighbor who chips and sells, or a local supplier that offers seasoned logs at a reasonable price. Those who live in areas with strict emissions regulations should double-check local codes, because even a clean-burning stove still releases particulates. If your sauna sits in a tightly enclosed shed without proper ventilation, you'll need to install a flue that meets code, which adds a bit of extra work and cost. Who should skip it? If you have a large sauna that can comfortably accommodate a 20-plus kilowatt electric heater, you'll likely find the Legend underpowered for the space. Likewise, renters or anyone who can't make permanent changes to a chimney or venting system should look at portable infrared panels or plug-in heaters that need no chimney at all. Finally, if you're allergic to wood smoke or have pets that are sensitive to the scent, a wood-burning stove may not be the best fit. There are a few practical trade-offs to keep in mind. The biggest hidden cost is the chimney or flue system. While Harvia ships the stove ready to install, you'll need a properly sized stovepipe that can handle the heat and direct exhaust outside safely. If you already have a chimney from an old fireplace, that can be a straightforward retrofit, but a brand new installation can add $300 $500.